Good morning, friends. I am Captain Dr. D.K. Ramawat, working as a consultant cardiologist at Ramawat Heart and General Medicine Hospital, Badmer, Rajasthan, India. Today's CME, we are having a very interesting chapter, but of course it is little small, but you will enjoy it. The anti-thrombotic therapy in valvular disease and prosthetic heart valves. So let us start. So today we are running with anti-thrombotic therapy in patients with valvular heart disease and prosthetic heart valves. Indications and type of anti-thrombotic therapy for the prevention of thromboembolism in patients with valvular heart diseases and mechanical prosthetic heart valves and bioprosthetic heart valves are discussed today. The evidence for these clinical recommendations is described and graded into 5 levels. The indications for anticoagulations in patients with valvular heart diseases are: number 1, chronic or paroxysmal atrial fibrillation. Number 2, sinus rhythm with a very large left atrium. Number 3, severe left ventricular dysfunction. Number 4, presence of heart failure. Number 5, a history of previous thromboembolism. Now, anticoagulant therapy is administered to prolong the prothrombin time to 1.5 to 2 times of the control using rabbit brain thromboplastin. This standardized international normalized ratio 3 to 4.5. Risk factors for thromboembolism in patients with prosthetic heart valves are discussed today, because intracardiac thrombus formation may start during and continues early after operation. Restarting heparin therapy 6 hours after operation and continuing it for the duration of the hospitalization is advised. For mechanical prosthetic heart valves, oral anticoagulant warfarin used as outlined plus dipyridamole, which is an anti-anginal agent and does not increase the bleeding risk, is also advised indefinitely because platelet inhibitor therapy alone is insufficient. For bioprosthetic heart valves, which are the tissue valves and made up from animal tissues, heparin is followed by an oral anticoagulation as outlined for 3 months after mitral or aortic valve replacement and indefinitely after mitral valve replacement if there is atrial fibrillation or very large left atrium. Aspirin may be recommended indefinitely after aortic valve replacement. So, anti-thrombotic therapy is also considered for 4 special situations. Earlier I have told you the 5 situations. Now here I will discuss 4 more situations. Number 1, non-cardiac surgery. Number 2, prosthetic valve endocarditis. Number 3, anticoagulation or thromboembolic event. And number 4, the last but not the least, anti-thrombotic therapy during pregnancy. Now, 2000 American Heart Association and American College of Cardiology focused update of valvular heart disease guidelines as follows. The management of patients with heart disease is rapidly evolving with advances in diagnostic imaging and improvement in catheter-based and surgical interventions. This update of the 2014 guideline on the management of patients with heart valve diseases include changes in what? These five things. Number 1, indication for antibiotic prophylaxis for infective endocarditis. Number 2, the use of direct oral anticoagulant among patients with atrial fibrillation and heart valve diseases. Indications for transcatheter aortic valve replacement. Number 4, surgical management of patients with primary and secondary mitral regurgitation. And number 5, management of patients with heart valve prosthesis, that is the artificial valves. The following are points to remember. We will discuss 10 points. Number 1 is infective endocarditis prophylaxis. In this first point, antibiotic prophylaxis before dental procedure, and now is also recommended for patients with transcatheter prosthetic valve, and C for patients with prosthetic material used in valve repair, for example including an annuloplastic ring or artificial cords. This is class 2nd A recommendation. Now you will see the second point, anticoagulation for atrial fibrillation. Among patients with atrial fibrillation and rheumatic mitral stenosis, anticoagulation with vitamin K antagonist warfarin still is indicated class 1. Forget not what I tell. This is class 1. What? Vitamin K antagonist warfarin still indicated. It is class 1 antagonist. Then second, anticoagulation should be used among patients with atrial fibrillation and Chad's-West. Chad's-West score more than 2. I will discuss further what is Chad's-West score 2 in the setting of number 1, native aortic valve disease, number 2, tricuspid valve disease, and number 3, mitral regurgitation. This is class 1 indication. So anticoagulation with atrial fibrillation having Chad's-West score more than 2 in aortic valve, tricuspid valve and mitral regurgitation, this is class 1 recommendation. Number 2, use of direct oral anticoagulant is reasonable. Listen, it is reasonable. Not 100% you give it. It is reasonable among patients with number 1, native aortic valve disease, 2, tricuspid valve disease, and 3, mitral regurgitation and atrial fibrillation with Chad's-West score more than 2. This is class 2nd A. Class 2nd A. It was class 1st was this year, but this is class 2nd A. Direct oral anticoagulant class 2nd A, but this vitamin K antagonist was class 1. It was class 1 year. So never forget. Still it is class 2. This is your direct oral anticoagulant, and vitamin K antagonist class 1. Now you have to remember what is Chad's-West score. Here C stands for congestive heart failure or left ventricular dysfunction, and score is given 1. S stands for hypertension and score is given 1. A stands for the age more than 75 years and score are given 2. Then D stands for diabetes mellitus and score is given 1. Then S for stroke, transient ischemic attack or thromboembolism, scores are given 2. And then the V stands for vascular disease and score is given 1. Then again A is 65 to 74 years and score is given 1. Then lastly S stands for sex category. If the C is female sex, then give score 1, otherwise no. So now the third point to remember in aortic stenosis, what to remember, the recommendation for either surgical AVR or TAVR among high risk patients with severe symptomatic aortic stenosis grade D, consideration by heart valve team, and it was changed from class 2A to class 1. Then after consideration by a heart valve team, TAVR is reasonable alternative to surgical AVR for patients with severe symptomatic aortic stenosis of stage D and immediate surgical risk also. This is class 2A recommendation. Now the fourth point which we have to remember, primary MR. First, among asymptomatic patients with severe primary MR and with preserved left ventricular systolic function, means ejection fraction more than 60% and LV systolic dimension less than 40 millimeter and mitral valve surgery. So here mitral valve surgery is reasonable in setting of serial imaging studies that reveal a progressive increase in LV size or decrease in left ventricular ejection fraction. I again repeat this point. Among asymptomatic patients with severe primary MR with preserved left ventricular systolic function, means ejection fraction more than 60% and LV and diastolic dimension, LV and systolic dimension less than 40 millimeter, and so here mitral valve surgery is reasonable in setting of serial imaging studies that reveal a progressive increase in LV size or decrease in left ventricular ejection fraction, class 2A recommendation. After primary MR, we are coming to secondary MR. The definition of severe secondary MR is now the same as for severe primary MR. Effective regurgitant orifice area is more than 0.4 centimeter square in secondary MR. Regurgitant volume is more than 60 ml and regurgitant fraction is more than 50%. It is reasonable to choose chordal sparing mitral valve replacement. Choose chordal sparing mitral valve replacement over reduction angioplasty mitral valve repair among patients operated for severe symptomatic secondary MR. Among patients operated for severe symptomatic secondary MR, you will do chordal sparing mitral valve replacement in spite of reduction angioplasty mitral valve repair. After randomized trial showed no clinical benefit of mitral valve repair among patients with chronic moderate ischemic MR undergoing coronary artery bypass grafting. The level of evidence was changed from C to B or meta-analysis of moderate quality, this RCT, for the class 2B recommendation for mitral valve repair in this population. So here, in short, patient showed no clinical benefit of mitral valve repair among patients with chronic moderate ischemic MR undergoing coronary artery bypass grafting. The level of evidence was changed from C to B for the class 2B recommendation for mitral valve repair in this population. Then 6th point, prosthetic valve choice. Shared decision making remains a class 1 indication in selecting a mechanical versus bioprosthesis, means tissue valves. Among patients undergoing aortic or mitral valve replacement, the age range was expanded from 60 to 70 to 50 to 70, 10 years increase. Here 10 years increase for the class 2A level of evidence. Indication for either a mechanical or bioprosthetic valve choice. In bioprosthetic, you can go from 50 to 70 and in mechanical from 60 to 70. Now, prosthetic valve antithrombotic therapy. There are unchanged recommendations for use of vitamin K antagonist. Listen again. The recommendations are unchanged for use of vitamin K antagonist. International normalization ratio 2.5 for bileaflet or current generation tilting disc was in the absence of additional thromboembolic risk. INR 3 for mitral mechanical prosthesis or for aortic valve prosthesis plus additional thromboembolic risk plus aspirin 75 to 100 mg among patients with a mechanical valve prosthesis given. In case of mechanical valve, you have to add aspirin also, and INR is to be kept 3 instead of 2.5 to 3. And there is a new consideration for a lower INR target of 1.5 to 2 for patients with bileaflet mechanical aortic valve and no additional thromboembolic risk seen. This is class 2B recommendation. The prior recommendation for use of vitamin K antagonist. Listen carefully. The prior recommendation for use of vitamin K antagonist after bioprosthetic valve replacement was changed to include both aortic and mitral bioprosthesis for 3 to 6 months. Use of vitamin K in both mitral and aortic valve bioprosthesis. Vitamin K antagonist for 3 to 6 months given after surgery in patient at low risk for bleeding. Here there will be bleeding risk is less if it is given for 3 to 6 months vitamin K antagonist. Then vitamin K antagonist INR target 2.5 may be reasonable for at least 3 months after a TAVR in patient at low risk for bleeding. Naturally, after TAVR, if you use vitamin K antagonist and keeping INR 2.5, there will be less bleeding, low risk for bleeding. Simultaneously, we are also supposed to know the main types of prosthetic valves with characteristic and respective advantage and disadvantage. You see, valves are of two types, mechanical and bioprosthesis. Mechanical are made from metal, bioprosthesis is made from tissues of the animals. Animal either bovine or pork, either pig or cow. In mechanical valve, you see there are 3 categories. First is this ball and cage, second tilting disc, third is bileaflet. In ball and cage, these all 3 valves are actually thrombogenic. All are thrombogenic. While bioprosthetic valve, all are non-thrombogenic. No thrombus formation in these. But in mechanical valves, which are of metal, this thrombus formation is there. So in ball and cage valve, that is the Starr Edward valve, it is high profile and potential for left ventricular outflow tract obstruction in mitral position. Moderately thrombogenic. Good long-term durability data. Most commonly used today. Then tilting disc, Medtronic Hall and Jorok Shelley. Here it is of high profile, potential for interference with opening if malpositioned small aorta. Potential for interference with opening if malpositioned in small aorta. Then, and it is also thrombogenic. Then bileaflet, St. Jude. This is lowest profile, less thrombogenic, best hemodynamic profile, particularly in small sizes. Most commonly used in mechanical prosthesis today. The bioprosthetic was porcine from the pig. In this comes Carpentier Edward and Hannock Standard. They are non-thrombogenic. They all are non-thrombogenic, and so this is non-thrombogenic. Risk of post-operative transvalvular gradient in smaller sizes. 90% freedom from structural deterioration in more than 65 years at 12 years in modern designs. No, and then comes the pericardial, this is bovine, obtained from the cow. They contain Carpentier Edward, Magna and Mitroflo, that is Sorin, and they are non-homogenic, risk of post-operative transvalvular gradient in smaller sizes, 90% freedom from structural deterioration in more than 65 years at 12 years in modern designs. Then lastly, stentless porcine from the pig. Here the valves come Toronto stentless, porcine valve and freestyle. Here they are also non-homogenic, better hemodynamic profile than stented valves, more complex to implant, not designed for use in the mitral position. 8th point to remember, bioprosthetic valve thrombosis. Bioprosthetic valve thrombosis means tissue wall. Initial treatment with vitamin K antagonist is reasonable among hemodynamically stable patients with suspected or confirmed bioprosthetic valve thrombosis and no contraindication to anticoagulation, class 2nd A indication. TAVR, valve-in-valve procedure. In TAVR, valve-in-valve procedure is reasonable among severely symptomatic patients with bioprosthetic aortic valve stenosis who are assessed by heart valve team to be at high or positive surgical risk, class 2nd A recommendation. Then 9th, prosthetic valve regurgitation. Transcatheter valve-in-valve. Transcatheter valve-in-valve is reasonable for severely symptomatic patient with bioprosthetic aortic valve regurgitation judged by heart valve team to be at high or positive risk for surgery, class 2nd A recommendation. The last but not the least, infective endocarditis. Operation without delay may be considered in patients with infective endocarditis and an indication for surgery who have suffered a stroke but have no evidence of intracranial hemorrhage or extensive neurological damages, class 2nd B recommendation. If hemodynamically stable, delaying valve surgery for more than 4 weeks may be considered. If hemodynamically stable, delaying valve surgery for more than 4 weeks may be considered among patients with infective endocarditis, major ischemic stroke and intracranial hemorrhage, class 2nd B recommendations. Now for patients with bioprosthetic aortic valve, anticoagulation for 3 to 6 months is indicated in patients with established risk factors such as atrial fibrillation. In bioprosthetic who are non-thrombogenic but still they require anticoagulation, because if you see atrial fibrillation. Now you must know artificial heart valves are often known as mechanical heart valves and made from metallic alloys or plastic materials. And bioprosthetic heart valves, the valve tissue is typically from an animal species and mounted on a frame known as bioprosthesis. Now, current recommendations for anticoagulant therapy in patients with valvular heart disease and atrial fibrillation. The American College of Cardiology and American Heart Association and European Society of Cardiology and European Association for Cardiothoracic Surgeons guidelines in harmony but not lockstep. The term non-valvular fibrillation has become popular with the development of, listen again, the term non-valvular fibrillation has become popular with the development of what? Non-vitamin K antagonist, novel oral anticoagulant or direct oral anticoagulant. Randomized trials evaluate novel oral anticoagulants in atrial fibrillation targeted non-valvular atrial fibrillation, since thromboembolic risk was presumed to be higher and possibly to involve different mechanisms in patients with valvular heart diseases. However, it is acknowledged that the definition of non-valvular atrial fibrillation is not uniform. It is variable from school to school. It varies from school to school. Exclusion criteria for valvular atrial fibrillation differed between trials on novel oral anticoagulants with regards to the type and severity of native valvular heart disease and type of valve prosthesis. The availability of subgroup analysis now allows for a better risk assessment and ascertainment of indications of novel oral anticoagulants in patients with valvular heart diseases, identifying patients with non-valvular atrial fibrillation. With increasing life expectancy, the epidemic of valvular heart diseases is becoming more prevalent. Simultaneously, transcatheter aortic valve implantation has emerged as an alternative therapy for patients with significant valvular heart diseases, and the ideal antithrombotic regime for these patients has not yet been firmly established. Now, aortic valve diseases. Anticoagulation is mainly required in aortic valve diseases in the presence of atrial fibrillation, and conventional treatment uses vitamin K antagonist. Forget not, conventional treatment uses vitamin K antagonist. In American Heart Association and American College of Cardiology guidelines, anticoagulation is indicated in patients with a CHA2DS2-VASc score more than 2, while no score threshold is mentioned in European Society of Cardiology and European Association for Cardiothoracic Surgeons guidelines. Following subgroups analysis from randomized trial on novel oral anticoagulants, their use for prevention of atrial fibrillation is now second A recommendation in American Heart Association and American College of Cardiology. Now, in the last but not the least, conclusion. Mechanical prosthetic valves are functionally efficient but requires anticoagulation throughout the lifespan of the patient, which is a significant cause of morbidity. Bioprosthetic valves are prone to structural degeneration, necessitating reoperation during the lifespan of the patient, hence may not be applicable in a young patient. The India designed single leaflet Chitra TTK valve is functionally and hemodynamically efficient, and long-term data is comparable to other existing valve designs. Don't forget the single leaflet Chitra TTK valve of India, which is efficient and long-term data is comparable to other existing valve designs. Oral anticoagulation with vitamin K antagonist should be administered. Oral anticoagulation with vitamin K antagonist should be administered to maintain an INR value of 3 with added aspirin of 75 mg. Now, in the last line, if done efficiently, the long-term results are likely to be uneventful. If done efficiently, the long-term results are likely to be uneventful. The newly developed transcatheter AVR program will challenge. Again listen, newly developed transcatheter AVR program will challenge the aortic prosthetic valve, will challenge the aortic prosthetic valve as the data is comparable in the elderly. So, today we have completed the anticoagulant therapy in valvular heart diseases and prosthetic heart valves. I am sure you must have enjoyed this topic. It was a very short topic, and I thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you very much.